Hello and welcome to Revision with Rob
and Tom.
And this week we're going to give you 5 awesome tips on how best you can revise for this summer's exams. Whether you're doing GCSE or A-level, we are going to be here for you.
Sorry, did you just say awesome, Rob? Awesome. Awesome exam tips.
Oh, yes, they are going to be awesome.
That's right, they're going to be awesome.
Now, come on, Tom. Tip number 1.
Right, tip number 1. What we're going to talk about in this episode is how to best prepare your area to revise. Now, I know, you may all be sat there going, prepare my area, just go away, all right? But the better you prepare your area, the better you revise. Trust us, we have done this, haven't we, Rob?
And yes, we have. People don't really understand how important an area is. It is the area. It is
the area.
Learn your knowledge in this area.
An area is so important, Rob. An area.
Give an example of an area where you could best revise.
Well, so where I prefer to revise is in my garage. I like to hide away in my garage because I have a nice little table set up there, and I have my paintings on the wall, and I can revise best in that area because I'm comfortable and I am also not distracted by my computer and my phone and stuff like that.
I think temperature is really important. You don't want to be somewhere too hot or too cold. Nice surface temperature, not too loud, comfortable position, a lot of space, like a nice large desk or a table, where you can spread out all your notes. So you can best revise. I think that is a really valuable tip to start off with, I think.
And you can take the mick out of us, but it is really important to have a nice, comfortable, warm, well, not warm if you don't like warm, obviously that's a silly thing. But anyway, it's important to have a nice, comfortable area where you are happy revising. And therefore you will get the optimum revision, as you were about to say, Rob, sorry.
Yeah, optimize it for yourself. So that's awesome tip number 1. Tip number 2, go ahead.
Tip number 2. Now, I'm speaking for a large proportion of me and my friends when I say we all like food.
A very large proportion of you.
A very large proportion, yeah. funny guy. But anyway, even for those people who aren't, particularly interested in food and drink, that it's really important to make sure you're not hungry or you're not thirsty and you have a good supply of food and drink whilst you're revising, because it really helps you concentrate and it helps you learn better and it stops you being distracted by the thought of, what's for tea tonight, and things like that. What I prefer to do is I sit in my garage, as I've said, with a cup of tea, which I constantly go back into the house and refill.
I know what you mean.
And a massive packet of biscuits. So that is my ultimate revision area, essentially. What about you, Rob? What's your favourite revision food?
I know my favourite revision food. Well, it's really difficult, actually. I would say back at the crisps, but crisps, they're quite hard to eat because your hands get all greasy. Then you have to go wash them and you waste more time and it's more distractions. I would say probably some kind of chocolate. I think. Nice bar of chocolate. And then perhaps a glass of water, just nice, nothing too fancy. No. Because I think if you don't eat during, you've got some snack whilst you're revising, it's like a big temptation to go off and get something and then spend half an hour down there eating food. And it just wastes time, really. It's really not helpful. And it doesn't actually get your A grades, does it? Or A star, even, if you're really pushing for it. And
or anything... Or it doesn't get the grades which you are ultimately capable of. I think we can say that, Rob.
Yes, the grades you are. Come on, everyone can achieve their best if they listen to these tips.
We did, didn't we, Rob? What did you get in your GCSEs?
Well, I did get very good grades. I didn't. All my grades are B, A, or A stars. So I think that's pretty good generally.
What did you get in your music, actually, Rob? Or shall we not go into that?
All right, in my music I got D, and that's because I really didn't put the effort in. I just didn't enjoy that subject that much, to be honest, and I kind of let myself down in that area. I mean, if only I'd had this podcast and the epic tips, I think I could have done a lot better.
All right, Rob.
But anyway, moving on. Tip number 3.
Tip number 3. So the third revision tip, Robert, is...
Oh, go on.
Is...
Spill the beans.
No distractions. Okay. Now this is really important, and it's something we're all guilty of. Procrastinating is what it's technically called. But right. I'm not going to pretend that I'm that much of a nerd.
Get in contact with us. Get in contact with us. Is that right? Procrastinate.
It is right.
It is. Tweet us at the Obsidian Corp or email us at theobsidiancorp@gmail.com. It's probably more distractions, but there you go. Do it in free time, not in your revision time, please.
Yes,
Anyway,
don't listen to our podcast in your revision time. Okay,
No.
just so as you know, don't do it. Don't do it. Okay, this does not count as revision unless it's a revision podcast.
Anyway, moving on.
Tip number 3: no distractions. Don't remove all distractions from where you're working, which will essentially stop you getting distracted. It's fairly straightforward. If you sit there on your laptop or with your phone or whatever, you will be distracted by them. No matter how much you say, "Oh no, I'm not going to be distracted."
Oh God,
you will be.
Yes, it's so tempting to have a site, Facebook, Twitter open on your laptops.
Exactly.
You won't distract. You'll just have a quick look during a break or something, and oh God, it just turns into a constant hours and hours of Facebook and Twitter. And
we've all done it though, haven't we? We've all done it where we've spent our entire evening getting distracted. So don't get distracted is the 3rd tip.
The idea thing is to not have any distracting electronic devices around you, like your TV, iPod, MP3, iPad, laptop, whatever. Oh, it's got to be in a different room. It's got to be out of sight. You're actually going to be tempted to use it, and if you use it, the hours will fly by, and you'll think good about doing revision, but you won't have actually done any because you'll listen to things.
What the best thing to do, and this will lead us into our next point very nicely, is the best thing to do is to leave them somewhere else and say, in my break, I will go and check it. Okay, which leads us on to the 5th point. Fourth point, which I'll explain. Make sure you have breaks. Okay, now this break time is essentially your time to relax, let everything go that you've just revised, so you can move on to the next thing.
Well, don't let everything go. You do need to remember it for your exam. It's quite.
Well, yeah, but you can kind of zone out a little bit, and then that's the time for you to check Facebook. But be strict with yourself. Have 20 minutes revision and 10 minutes break. Have 20 minutes revision, 10 minutes break, etc., etc. But make sure you're strict with yourself that you have that 10 minutes break and no more. Make yourself another cup of tea, grab some more biscuits, and go back into your revision space, fresh and ready to go.
Yeah, I think this is one of the most important points, because just constant revision will drain you literally. You need to have say a 15-minute break every hour, because that is just absolutely brilliant. It's
good. Yeah,
refreshment and stuff, that's food and drink, and then you can allow yourself to be distracted just for that small amount of time. Like, for example, at the moment I'm reading the book actually, and whenever I'm having a break, I'll just read maybe another 5 or 6 pages or something, because I actually enjoy doing it.
Yeah, it's a really good suggestion to do something which you enjoy, to do something which you which is not related to the things which you're revising. Would take your mind off it, and then you can go back in and be able to take in more information than you could have done had you have revised through that period.
Yeah, definitely, because it's also good if you take yourself away from what you're actually revising, then you can then see if you can actually remember it, having taken your mind off it, and you can see which areas you need to revise for, if you know what I mean.
Yes,
it is.
Very good point, Rob.
Very important point. Anyway, number 5.
Number 5. Don't leave your revision until the last minute.
Oh dear, who's been there? We all have.
We all have.
Maybe it's just like a little 10 out, marks out of 10 tests or something in class, but you always leave it to the last minute.
Revising in morning registration.
Yes. Oh, morning break, lunchtime even.
Yes.
Oh dear. It's not the little break between period 5 and 6. We've all been there.
I've read an article the other day on revision and when your brain takes in information and when it stores it until essentially. And if you take in information the night before your exam, if you're learning new stuff, then you will not remember it until at least a week later. So essentially, any revision that you do after 2 or 3 days before your exam is useless. If you follow.
It's not entirely useless.
It's not entirely useless,
but
it's just for reinsurance.
It's really not helpful, is it? It's really not helpful.
It's not. It's really a waste of your time to be doing revision for revision. It's good to do it to reassure yourself that you know your stuff. But if you do it, then it's really distracting. Not distracting. That's the wrong word. It's really not useful at all.
I know. It's like you. If you revise, say, let's talk about a major GCSE exam. Let's say, physics GCSE in the summer. That's something you need to be revising for a good month, I'd say. You just start revising a good month before the exam and just slowly build up, as one of my teachers at school would say, little and often.
Little and often.
You're little and often, and it's also lovely to trawl through some past papers, particularly for A-level, trawling through those past papers, just getting into the head of the examiner.
Yes.
Thinking about the kind of questions you're going to ask, what to expect. And you never know, if you're really lucky, and if in some of the past papers, the questions actually do come up again sometimes.
Yes,
but
especially with maths and some of the sciences.
Yeah,
very much so.
I have had that before, but for that to actually work, you need to be doing these past questions and papers, and just think about it. You need to know how to answer, what you get the marks for, and that can give you some much better grades. And your target grades. If you look for those little extra marks, you could actually get better than your target grades. And that's what we should all aim for, really. We may have target grades, but always aim higher. That's what I say. Always aim higher. Now, yes indeed.
Okay, so that's brought us to the end of the podcast today. Let's summarise those. Okay, so number one, make sure your revision space is nice and spacious, clean, tidy, and comfortable.
Number two. Yes. Number two, food and drink. Get some of your little favourite foods, your favourite drink. It can even be a reward, actually. Say, if I do this, and if I can get this mark, I can have this food. It's brilliant. Just, maybe like a cabbage cream egg, someone like that. Delicious. Oh, look at Tom there. Can't control himself over it.
You know what? They're selling 5 for £1 in my village shop.
Ooh. So,
I know, yeah.
Tell you what, if you go and get 5 cabbage cream eggs for £1, and then you could just line them all up, say, after this subject, if I get up to this point and I can remember it, I can have that cream egg.
Yes.
It could be
cream eggs.
It could be in my mouth and I will eat it. Oh.
Anyway, number three. Don't distract yourself. Really, no procrastination or you will not do well. End of.
Completely.
Number 4, have breaks.
Oh, that is very important, isn't it? Just
very important.
Go tie yourself up. Make sure you get a decent night's sleep as well. I recommend a good hours at least.
Yes. 20 minutes revision, 10 minutes break. Golden rule.
Number 5, don't leave it all to the last minute. Most important point of all. Leave it to the last minute and you will not get what you are expected to get. It's as simple as that.
Yes.
It really is.
Little and often for a long time before your exam. I know it's boring, but it's exams.
It is worth it. Trust me. It is worth it.
Welcome to our world.
Now, guys, you can contact us if you have any questions on revision, if you want any more tips, or if you want us to, we will make a podcast on a certain subject just for you, or even a certain method. We will do it just for you, like how to get the marks, how to answer questions. We will give you the tips. Just tweet us at the Obsidian Corp on Twitter. That's at the Obsidian Corp. Or email us, theobsidiancorp@gmail.com. That's theobsidiancorp@gmail.com. We will always get back to you, and we will even consider perhaps making a podcast based just on your email if it's that good. And also, guys, something else to look out for. On BBC Radio 1 this weekend, on Sunday at 9 o'clock, Aled Hayden-Jones is doing a special surgery on revision, including tips on how you could best revise. I really do recommend listening to that because it's Aled. I love Aled. He's always brilliant, and he always has the best stuff for you. So there you go. And we've brought it all together in a nice little handy revision podcast.
Exactly.
We really do hope you enjoyed it, don't we, Tom?
We do indeed. I hope you enjoyed it and hope that you have lots and lots of help. If you do have any suggestions on any other tips which you find particularly interesting and you want to let everybody else know about, please get in touch with us by either Twitter or email, as Rob has just said, at the Obsidian Corp, and we will try and plug those for you because we'd really love to hear how everybody else provides.
We definitely will, and we will have some more of these podcasts out as soon as we get the feedback of you guys, and we will get them out for you, and we will put them just where this one is now, in the little box on the YouTube page, just above the 14,000 million views or something like that one, and 0 dislikes. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, guys, we are the Obsidian Corp. We are here for revision.
We are here for you. Here for you. Your revision needs you. Yeah.
We are community people. Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Can you fix it? Yes, we can. Can you revise it? Yes, you can.
Can you get those best grades? Yes, you can. So we are the Obsidian Corp. I'm Rob.
And I'm Tom.
Goodbye and good luck.